found is that whether you're in the U.S. or whether you're somewhere else in the world, leaders are leaders. And well, at IBL, our goal is to come alongside of churches to help them fulfill the Great Commission that God has given to them, to plant churches, to train national leaders, to be able to engage in bringing along the next generation of leaders around the world. And so at IBL, we desire to partner together with churches. And there's a unique aspect that IBL brings into this relationship, and that is, first of all, our curriculum that we have. Some of it is standard theological training curriculum. It's theological and ecclesiology training curriculum that is brought together. But then also our leadership training that we bring to the table and our years of experience of being able to train God's leaders. What we've found is that whether you're in the U.S. or whether you're somewhere else in the world, leaders are leaders, and people have the same similar types of problems. And so we bring that component to the relationship with the local churches. We are allowing them to benefit, if you will, from the other experiences that we have. Oftentimes, a church just does not have the resources, doesn't have the experience, doesn't have the manpower, if you will, to effectively fulfill the training that God has called them to do.
Yeah. The curriculum is important. It covers three areas, as you mentioned. It covers the essentials in theology, essentials in leadership, and then the essentials of pastoral ministry. But it's very holistic, and it's also very geared towards majority world audience. So what are the theological essentials that are really needed in the majority world? And so we've had quite a bit of experience with that, and that helps us fine-tune what are the essentials that we need to give them so they can be more effective in their ministry and be more confident in their leadership. So that's an important element of what we bring to the table.
We also desire to partner together with the churches. This isn't a thing of, hey, let's hire IBL and they'll go do the training, and we can kind of check off a list to say, yeah, we got IBL to go do this for us. But rather at IBL, we see this as a partnering relationship, and because of our philosophy that would say we are so careful about the autonomy of the local church, we want the church to take a lead in this role, but there's a place for the church and IBL to have a really mutually beneficial relationship in partnering together.
It is a partnership in the sense that there's some very specific things that IBL brings to the table. We know what it's like to work in the majority world. We know the logistics that are needed in the majority world. The curriculum, as I mentioned, is geared towards the majority world. So we bring that to the table. But at the end of the day, this is a Great Commission work. It's directly Great Commission. And that's not our role as a parachurch ministry. That's the local church. So we're under the authority of the local church as they fulfill the Great Commission. There's another element of this with the partnering churches, and that is they will send people with us to train with us. And that is so key. Typically, partnering churches will send their pastors with us. Not all the time, sometimes there's lay leaders, but mostly pastors. And that iron sharpening iron dynamic, not even in the classroom environment, but during lunch and during dinners, for our students to rub shoulders with those guest pastors from the U.S. Wow, that is so rich and beneficial. And that's a direct ministry of the U.S. church into the national leaders somewhere else in the world, and has great impact.
I think one of the greatest encouragements to a local church's missions ministry is engaging in training leaders, national leaders around the world, engaging with IBL. The joint benefit that comes back to the church is a tremendous blessing as well.